Ark just dropped a massive amount of information, and honestly, I think one piece of news is getting completely overshadowed. Everyone's talking about the new Tidepup creature coming with Genesis Part 1 and Tides of Fortune, but buried inside all of the announcements is something that can completely change how players create content in Ark forever. Today, we're breaking down everything we know about the Tidepup, how it actually works, why it can become one of the strongest support creatures in the game, and then we'll talk about Ark Maker, which might end up being one of the biggest features Ark Survival Ascended has ever received. So, let's start with the Tidepup. At first glance, it honestly looks like a cute shoulder pet, most like an axolotl, but after reading through the dossier and official information, this thing might be way more powerful than people actually realise. According to Wildcard, the Tidepup is a benevolent support creature focused heavily on healing. In this wild, it apparently travels around healing injured creatures rather than attacking them. Even predators seem to leave it alone, which is a pretty unique concept for an Ark creature. And the taming method is actually pretty interesting. Instead of knocking it out or feeding it directly, you will need to bring injured creatures to it and allow them to tame. I'm just happy it's not like the Amarg. Basically, you're proving that you're willing to help other creatures before it decides to trust you. Now here's where things get really interesting. The Tidepup isn't just a healer. According to the dossier that came out from Ark themselves, it can heal injuries, remove negative conditions, so like leech poison or something like that. It can cleanse toxins, recover from dangerous situations, and transform into a much larger mount, much like the Pyromane. And the last part is what really caught my attention, because if this thing scales healing for an entire tribe, boss fights could become significantly easier. Think about it. Imagine a support creature constantly healing players and tames during difficult encounters like the Broodmother. If you think about it, it's kind of just an upgraded Daedon that's on your shoulder. Depending on the numbers, this could be one of the strongest PvE support creatures we've ever had. Now before everyone starts saying overpowered, we obviously don't know the exact stats yet or the exact game bases, and you never know, Wildcard might change a few of the stuff if it becomes too broken in the game like they have before. But based on the information that we have right now, this creature looks like it was specifically designed to fill a support role that Ark has never really had before, other than the Daedon and the Eutyranus, which is just a raw creature. There's another detail that a lot of people missed. According to the dossier, the Tidepup could apparently ride on your shoulder while allowing you to carry a second shoulder pet at the same time. So you could carry a Pyromane, one of the most overpowered creatures in Ark currently, and carry the Tidepup at the same time. If that mechanic makes it into the final release exactly as described, that could completely change shoulder pet combinations. Imagine running a Fjordhawk plus Tidepup. You'd be basically invincible, or a Shinehorn plus Tidepup, or any combination where you're getting utility and healing at the same time. That could become incredibly valuable. But as exciting as the Tidepup is, I actually think the bigger news is Ark Maker. If you missed it, Wildcard officially revealed Ark Maker, a brand new creation tool that will allow players to build and modify worlds directly inside Ark Survival Ascended. And this isn't just a map painter. According to the announcement by Wildcard, players will be able to edit existing maps, create entirely new maps, place creatures, adjust spawners, modify world settings, add scripts, apply mods, and share creations through the mod browser. Now if you've ever looked into making an Ark map before, you know how intimidating the dev kit can be. It's massive, it requires a decent PC, and the learning curve can be brutal. Ark Maker looks like Wildcard's attempt to put those tools directly into the game itself, allowing console players to understand what's actually going on and people who are new to this type of stuff. If they actually pull this off, imagine creating your own mini-map for your server, building custom challenge arenas, designing PvP events, creating roleplay worlds, or even making your own adventure maps without ever opening the dev kit. This will probably change Wildcard's game Ark Survival Ascended forever. The biggest question I have right now is how powerful Ark Maker is actually going to be. Because if this is just basic terrain editing, that's cool, but if players can truly manipulate spawns, scripting, events and world mechanics, this could become one of the most important additions Ark has ever seen, especially for long-term replayability and for people getting used to the game style and new players turning in. So for me, there are really two major takeaways from this week's news. First, the Tidepup looks like it could become one of the strongest support creatures Ark has ever introduced, possibly topping the Daedon and the Uranus at the same time. And second, Ark Maker has the potential to completely change how players create and share content across the entire game. Genesis Part 1 is already shaping up to be one of the biggest updates Ark Ascended has received so far, and now we're getting a brand new creature and potentially one of the most ambitious creation tools Wildcard has ever attempted. If you're excited about the Tidepup, let me know what ability you're hoping it has, and if you're interested in Ark Maker, tell me what the very first thing you're going to build is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.